Hello and welcome to the Eating Disorder Therapist podcast. I'm Harriet Frew, eating disorder therapist, here to support you in overcoming disordered eating and finding peace with food. So thank you so much for listening today. So today I want to talk about how to cope with feeling full, because I think this is something that so many of my clients struggle with, and I thought an important topic to dive into a bit more deeply. So let's talk about it. Now, if you have a tricky relationship with food, you may strongly dislike the sensation of feeling full. Whilst conversely, in the pursuit of thinness, gnawing hunger may have become a comforting and familiar sensation. An empty stomach, it might just feel right, with a flat stomach almost becoming a marker of success. And it might signal self-control to you and indicates an absence of bloating and uncomfortableness. Whereas a full stomach induces knee-trembling anxiety and nerve-wracking fear. Now, of course, these interpretations are distorted, but may have become familiar touch points as markers of self-worth. Because temporarily, an absence of fullness signals relief and your body feels safer for now. It might feel very unsafe to feel full, but it's really fleeting, isn't it? Because it's almost impossible to override the body's need for food. At some point, hunger must be surrendered to, and the elusive flat stomach will be no more. It's really difficult to try and control this. Now, if you're in the habit of erratic or restrictive eating, maybe binge eating as well, you'll likely bloat easily and your digestive tract may be working at a slower pace. We know with restriction, the stomach tends to slow down its emptying, the digestive tract works at a slower pace. Now, this as well exacerbates symptoms of discomfort and reinforces the desire to eat less and avoid fullness. Now, if you're restricting, you may well be binging, overeating, or chewing and spitting, because all three are natural rebound compensation for a lack of food, often driven by deep hunger and also emotional triggers. Binge eating and overeating will lead to extremely distressing feelings of fullness and can trigger disordered purging behaviours. And you may feel loaded with guilt and self-disgust. And chewing and spitting often leads to severe bloating and irritable bowel type symptoms as the stomach expects food which never appears. And hunger and appetite signals become very dysregulated. In contrast, if you have a healthy relationship with food, a feeling of comfortable fullness brings contentment. It reduces the anxiety and irritability brought on by being hungry. It allows an exhale of relief in the body. As you are nourished and fed, you can then continue with your day without the food noise bubbling away. Now, in eating disorder recovery, embracing the sensation of fullness is a necessary requirement and hurdle to leap over. Now, it may take some time as you're likely oversensitive to fullness sensations, which make you feel extremely unsafe. So, how can you begin to change your relationship towards fullness? So I would like you to encourage you just to firstly consider a different relationship towards fullness. Now, I'm referring here to comfortable fullness, not pushing your body to the point of feeling unwell and overfull. So currently, fullness might mean one of the following to you, or several of the following to you. Maybe I've eaten too much. I'm going to gain uncontrollable amounts of weight. My stomach is sticking out and people will notice. I failed for eating. Physically, I'm huge. Now, these thoughts are the familiar and faulty interpretations of fullness which your eating disorder has gripped tightly onto. Instead, here are some alternative thoughts about feeling full. Feeling full is a helpful sign that I am nourished and have eaten. Feeling full is a signal that my body is fueled and can provide me with energy and nutrition for the day. Feeling full means that I can be distracted from food and concentrate on work or hobbies. It is safe to feel full. This is a perfectly normal and natural body sensation. I am readjusting to accepting this again. Now, you might wish to write down your own versions of these constructive thoughts and place them in a prominent position to access in your moments of fear. So how can you manage the sensation of feeling full? So, listening to your body. It will take time to feel more comfortable with feeling full, and this is something that you will need to relearn. So you may need to make a note in your diary after eating to note your current fullness level as you begin to gain self-trust. So be present and tune into it. Okay, you might feel a lot of discomfort. Also note your anxiety and see how this rises and falls. Now, living through the full feeling whilst managing your anxiety and trusting that your body is not going to change significantly through one meal will allow you to become more trusting and less fearful. Every single time you manage another snack or meal whilst tolerating this fullness feeling, you are a step closer to reducing anxiety and becoming more accepting of this. It's a little win every time. So supporting yourself with your eating as well, so you don't get to that point of uncomfortable fullness. Okay, so I would say always avoid over hunger. Don't go into an eating episode being absolutely 10 out of 10 starving. If you have disordered eating, it's very common to ignore or misinterpret early hunger signals. Things like preoccupation with food, low blood sugar, irritability, poor concentration, and to wait until 10 out of 10 stomach growling, ferocious, dizziness provoking hunger has taken over your body. Now, this is not constructive, as eating from 10 out of 10 hunger rating will almost guarantee a dysregulated body. You're highly likely to overeat, as your brain will struggle to catch up fast enough with your body's signals. So instead, you want to be aiming for a 6 to 8 out of 10 hunger rather than I'm so ravenous that I could eat anything and everything. And if you're over hungry, you'll be vulnerable to eating quickly and not registering the taste or fully enjoying the food. You're highly at risk of overeating. So the boring and unsexy work of regular eating will undoubtedly provide a stable platform to connect better with hunger and fullness sensations. The next one, slow down. Slow down your eating and allow your body to register the food. Again, this is a challenge to manage if you're already starving. So you want to be kind of managing that hunger so you can be slower and more present with your eating. Taste, textures and smells. So really notice the taste, the texture and the smell of the food and register your enjoyment level. Now, when you have had an eating disorder or disordered eating, sometimes you need to completely relearn your likes and dislikes, having lost your way with the endless food rules. And you may be surprised to notice which foods genuinely seem delicious to you. Next one, sit down. So sit down at a table and make eating an occasion with some ceremony. Serve your food on an attractive plate and remove clutter from your eating area. So work to avoid eating on the run or standing at the fridge door or in the car. Again, this eating can sometimes be mindless and it's hard to register fullness. Do nothing else whilst eating. So do you eat whilst watching TV or staring at your work screen? If you're working to relearn hunger and fullness cues, it's preferable to do nothing else whilst eating. The more you make eating a pure experience, the less likely you are to eat mindlessly. And I'd say the only exception to this is for some people, maybe in anorexia nervosa recovery, who are extremely anxious about eating and need to have a distraction. I think that's an exception. But I think generally it's really helpful not to be distracted when eating. So allow hunger and fullness signals to catch up. To begin with, it may be hard to trust your feelings of hunger and fullness. If you're wishing to eat more after your meal, stop and pause for 10 minutes first. Maybe you haven't eaten enough, then happily get some more food. But maybe you're bored or tired or feeling low and you might not be hungry. You can then meet the non-food need. And the last thing is non-perfection. Now, I think this is really important because sometimes we can get so fixated on trying to manage hunger and fullness perfectly. Realize that practicing the art of comfortable fullness is not a perfect science. You will sometimes mildly undereat or overeat and your body will balance it out. And if you don't eat enough, you can eat again later. And if you eat a little over comfortable fullness, your appetite will be less, but trust that your body is working to support you. You're going to be okay. Keep practicing as the way out is through, and you will learn body trust in time. Thank you so much for being here and for listening today. If you're not following me already on Instagram, do seek me out, the Eating Disorder Therapist _. And for further support with your relationship with food, do go to the eatingdisordertherapist.co.uk. If you enjoy this podcast, I'd be so grateful if you follow, rate and review, as it helps it reach so many more listeners. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to sharing another podcast episode with you very soon.